Good evening, my lovely family at Sales 5X. This is Anmol here. I have with me.
And this is Joseph Das, friend like you call me JD.
Right. And today we're going to discuss something very interesting, which is how to effectively train your sales team. Or let me put it across this in another way. How can you master something? How can you learn something new in the best way? That is what we're going to talk about. There is so much literature out there on the internet that, you tell something, you want to learn a new habit, you want to incorporate something new. How much time does it take for it to really sink in? How do you really take action and all of that? Well, today we're going to settle this debate once and for all. Yeah. We have an interesting diagram for you guys. This is what is called the learning curve. This is
from Dale Edgar.
Right.
And on one side, you can see, the time frame in a 2 weeks time. And here is the name of the person, Edgar Dale. Now, we had conducted a experiment on how we learn and what is the retention after we learn.
Right.
So when you see the first one is lecture mode. So that's why, in colleges, you see, lectures are boring. Right. That's why students don't attend the lectures.
Right.
When you see the lecture mode, the retention is only 5%.
That is 5%. So in
5%.
2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
So let's say you hear a lecture. Within 2 weeks, you will be able to retain only 5%.
That's all.
No wonder people get bad grades in school. That's because you're only listening to a lecture. You're just passive listening, so to speak. So you're only retaining 5% after 2 weeks listening to a lecture. So that's very bad. Oh. So if you have your sales team and you're giving them a lecture, remember they're only going to remember 5% next time. Okay. Okay. Moving on. JD, the R stands for reading.
Yeah.
Let's do it alternate. Okay. Reading. So if I were to actively go out and read something, read a book about certain topics, or read anything for that matter, read an article online. Because I'm actively involved, if I read it, there's a likelihood of me remembering 10% of what I read in 2 weeks. So after 2 weeks, I would only be able to retain 10%. You're doubling what it was on the lecture mode, but it is still only 10%. JD, what's the next one?
The next one is watching. That's why we are doing YouTube Live.
Right.
All right. When you watch something, you retain 20% of what you have watched. That's better than the lecture.
Right.
That's better than reading.
Right.
So watching visual appeal.
Right.
Stays intact in your mind.
Right.
And it gives you a retention of 20% within 2 weeks. Remember the time scale. 2 weeks, 20% retention.
Absolutely. That's why they say videos these days is the newest form of content which people want to consume.
True.
Because reading can only take them to about 10%. Watching will take you guys till 20%. So remember, you'll only remember 20% of this video 2 weeks from now. Unless, of course, we go down the value chain, which we will explain to you. All right.
But apart from that, Anmol,
right.
Let us also tell them that if you're there in business, you should be on YouTube.
Right. Of course, absolutely. There's no doubt.
What do you think about it?
Absolutely. If you've got business, you've got to be an authority with whatever you're doing. And one way to build authority is to have a medium where you can showcase it. And in what better way than YouTube, right? So, all right, go for the next one.
Okay. The next one is the fourth one. 1, 2, 3, 4 is demonstration.
Demonstration,
right. Presentation. When you give a demonstration of a product or you give a presentation of a service, what is a retain percentage is, let me have a look, it's 30%.
Right.
So when people see and hear you all in combination and you doing the things, so 30% is a decent enough retention after 2 weeks.
Right. So to give you another example, if you were to, demonstrate something, it's much better than, you passively listening to a lecture, reading, or, watching. If you demonstrate it, there's a good 30% retention. Okay, the next one is GD, which is a group discussion.
Oh, lovely.
Right? So if I were to call, come out to our office and let's have a group discussion on, let's say, closing techniques. Okay, closing techniques, and you're involved in that group discussion. It's not that you're listening to me in a lecture format. It's not that I've given you a book. It's not that I've asked you to do a presentation, but I've involved you in a discussion. We are all having this amazing discussion. We may agree, we may disagree, but we are all involved in it. You will remember 50% of what was discussed and what are the points that you need to take it forward. So Group discussion, yeah. So
peer learning.
peer learning, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
effective way.
how can you apply this with your sales team? Bring them into a group discussion, into a room, lock the door, and let's talk about possible solutions to this problem.
True.
That's it. That's it. And everyone, bring everyone to talk. Okay, it's not about only the experts are talking. Everyone's talking. Encourage them. Create a conducive environment for a healthy, constructive discussion.
True.
And when everyone is participating, the outcome, like, hey, these are the top 3 points, 1, 2, 3 points that we need to implement in the field the next week. 50% of that they will remember.
Yeah.
Vis-a-vis you bringing, doing a lecture and they're all listening to you, 5% of which they will remember. So get them involved in a group discussion. Okay.
Very nice.
Moving to the next one. This is my personal favorite, JD.
Yeah, you go for it, Anmol.
All right,
it's all yours.
So role plays. Okay, this is something at Sales 5X. We do this very religiously. All our trainings are around role play. So our idea in training is to just shut up, right? We bring the sales guys and we get them to pitch, right? We get them to pitch. We bring another person. Sometimes we do live calls. Sometimes we simulate these calls. And then we do a post-mortem of the pitch. What went right, what went wrong, action-based learning.
Yeah.
So what's happening in a role play is you're actually involved, like in the whole transaction.
That's
right?
interesting, isn't it?
Absolutely. Whenever we do it, we find it very interesting. So instead of a group discussion, let's say I asked you to actually pitch, okay, and that's a very interesting role play. You get objections from someone else, and that's when the stakes get higher. You suddenly start thinking you're in a real sales pitch. That's why the learning is a whopping 75%.
Yeah.
Right. So the next time, if there's a low performing sales executive, right, get him to do role plays. Okay, don't give him a lecture on, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. No, get him to do a role play. Let him fall short of whatever there is. Then he will learn. So make him do role plays. Don't give him a lecture. Don't give him a book. Again, don't make him watch videos. Get him to do role plays. That's where the crux is. The last one, JD, take it away.
Oh, this is my favorite, Anmol.
Right.
Now let me put it into an example. Okay.
Right.
Now, how do people learn? The most effective way is, now, suppose you are struggling from handling objections.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I teach you how to handle objections.
Right.
Right. Script by script.
Right.
Once you have understood it,
right,
you have learned it,
right,
then I ask you one more,
right,
to go and train your sales team. That is the most powerful one.
Absolutely.
Now you yourself are learning,
right,
while teaching others,
right,
and then we actually, what we do is, it has to become the opposite,
right,
vis-a-vis.
Right.
The other person also teaches you.
True.
That way and more, it gets ingrained into our psyche.
Absolutely.
90% is the retention here.
So 90%, folks, in 2 weeks, you'll be able to remember 90%. If all you're doing is getting to train that person and making sure that person goes around and training the other people, other folks, his colleagues, his superiors, that's okay. Doesn't matter. You don't have to be an expert to train. Let's understand that. Because what you do is when you are training, you will start learning yourself, right?
Absolutely.
Tied back to your sales. What I would suggest is, if you have a low performing sales individual, you get your your topper, the one who's rocking it, to train this low performing sales individual, and then get the low performing sales individual to start training. Peer learning. Let him start training others, including the topper. Put him in the audience and let this guy start teaching. Trust me, in 2 weeks, 90% is what the research claims. You will see that person transform, right? And that is the best way to learn. So, of course, this is with context to sales, but this is true for anything. You want to learn anything, you teach it to someone else. It's as simple as that. So if you want to sign up for piano classes, learn it, and then go enthusiastically to a neighbor, hey, I'm going to teach you piano. That's it. And you will learn lessons that way. So very, very interesting chart, guys. Follow it. We are living it to the T. This is the Bible that we follow for teaching others. And if you see, because when we teach others, we also keep learning, right?
Absolutely.
We learn a lot from our customers. Different businesses, different challenges. It's very exciting.
Very interesting.
What we do, trust me, we have the world's best job. That's what we consider.
No, when I go back and more,
right,
this is the same way every day. 1 hour was, dedicated to learning in Eureka Foods.
Right.
They used to sharpen a saw on a daily basis.
True.
Sales is not, that's secondary, but the learning and development, and the maturity to handle customer comes first for them.
Right.
So early morning there'll be a hot discussion, role plays and motivation and inspiration, because it's a day-to-day affair, right?
True.
People tend to, lose their motivation. That used to happen, and I know that it has stuck to my mind.
Right.
Apart from that, Anmol, in this one, if you see, from 5% to 50%, that is, what do you say, lecture, reading, watching demo, this is all passive learning.
Right.
This is just passive learning.
Right.
Till group discussion. Role play and more, that is, knowing is not doing. Doing is knowing.
Right.
See, action-based learning is 75%, and person teaching other is 90%. This is called active learning. Right. So where would you put your money on?
Active learning. That is that's a no-brainer. Active money is where we would put our money on. We have a thumbs up from Stormy Clicks. Thank you, Stormy Clicks. We're glad that you like this video. Thank you so much, guys. Our endeavor here at Sales 5X is to do these lives almost every single weekday from Monday to Friday, and bringing these concepts which will turn the game around, not just for yourself, for your entire business, right? Thank you so much. I will see you all live tomorrow, 6 p.m. This is Anmol Garg.
And this is JD with you signing off.
Have a great evening. Okay, before we sign up, Stormy Click says you guys pretty much showcase the expertise. Thank you. Thank you, Stormy Clicks. Love to have, people like you, encouraging people like you with us. We will take this journey forward. Do feel free to get in touch with us and subscribe to this channel.
And beauty lies in the eyes of the
beholder.
That's all.
Absolutely.
That's it, Tommy.
That's Tommy. Thank you, Tommy. Cheers. We will connect again soon. Thank you, guys. Bye.